Well, hello, everybody. It's time. It's time. It's Tuesday, and it's time to jam on it. Where are y'all? Come on down. Let's get busy. We've got work to do. We have work to do. Here we go. Here comes everyone. I just finished up an almost 40-hour fast. That was fun. And I did okay. I wasn't really hungry, which is fantastic. I did wake up hungry this morning, and I thought, well, let's just wait and see. I was hoping to break my fast at noon, but by 9 o'clock, I was done. I was done, and I had a perfect paleo protein smoothie that I made in a jar, and I used chia seeds, L-glutamine, fiber mender, shook it up. I used chocolate this time. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. And Catherine. And I let it sit overnight. And by the time it was time to have it, I was yum, yum, yum. It tasted really good. You know how it is, right? And I had my supplements with it. I'm feeling good and healthy. I'm getting hydrated, having a little hot melt mix. Can't wait to check the pee-pee stick. Here's the pee-pee stick. Have y'all done this? To see where you are on the planet. It's kind of fun. Sometimes let you know a little something of what's going on. Pee-pee sticks for everyone. Are you bringing your friends in? Come on, guys. Let's get busy. We have work to do. So this week's winner is Christine. And I'm going to just butcher your name, so I won't say it. But you know who you are, Christine. She's probably here because she is always here. And she's been so lovely. She has shared this video multiple times in her feed on public, and that's how you get this going. And when you share this, you're letting everyone know you care. So she got a Saving Dinner for the Holidays book. I love this book. It was a blast to write. But then again, I love entertaining. And I also like to do things inexpensively. I like to do things beautifully. And I like to make sure that I have a table set, I've got decor done, that I've done things as much in advance as I can, with the exception of some of the cooking, because I like things to be fresh. But it was just, it was just a really, really fun book to write. So if you are interested in saving dinner for the holidays, you can get a copy yourself. It's on Amazon, of course. And so are all the other saving dinner books. There's five books. So so share this and bring your friends in, and let's get busy, especially if you want them to know about the sprint. It's our free thing that we do. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that and how to do it. But first of all, let's look at our quote of the week. Quote of the week. If you measure it, it will improve. This is what Seth Godin tells us. If you measure it, it will improve. And it's the truth. Have you noticed that? Any single time that you want something, anything that's been important, you measure it. Have you ever made something, sewing? I know people don't do that much anymore, but you have to measure. You have to know how much fun. Anything that asks you for a measurement, you understand exactly what that is. Everything that is worthy of measurement is something that is worthy of being in your life. Have you noticed that? You cook, you use measurement tools. You put marks on your pantry door to measure how tall your kids are. Everything that has any kind of impact in our life, we measure. So if we measure what we're doing when we're starting, especially if we're starting with the sprint and we're going, hey, I just need to get rid of some of this body clutter, whatever. When we're measuring it, we understand what's going on. Like we measure our fast. Barbara just broke her fast, 19 and a half hours. Good for you, Barbara. Good for you. I just finished mine at 38 hours. It's like the biggest one that I've done thus far. I mean, I have done a bigger, longer one with just water, and it was eons ago. But that was a different lifetime. I don't even count that. But I'm talking about, this is intermittent fasting. And how do we pop through these plateaus? How do we move the needle? A fast will do it. And that's a lot of stuff that we're talking about. And if you're a part of my Hot Melt Club, the Hot Melt Club is Thursday is our 2 o'clock Eastern every single time we meet in our little clubhouse on Facebook. And what that's all about, that is all, it's going to be all about digestion this time. And digestion is absolutely super critical because we don't look at that component enough. So if you get bloated and you eat and you're uncomfortable, or you can't poop or whatever, that's all part of the digestive process. And we have to discuss that, and we have to get our digestion on point. If we don't get our digestion on point, we're not going to be getting the value that we need to be getting out of our food. Those nutrients are there for a reason, and if we can't get them, if we can't extrapolate them from our food because we have digestion problems, we need to fix that. That's what I will be talking about in the Hot Milk Club this Thursday at 2 p.m. in our clubhouse. Clubhouse is on Facebook. You know where it is. So, yes, book. We have books, always have books. And the other book that I like talking about, because I don't think we are acknowledging enough about our problems with food. You know what happens to us? We have a very short-term memory sometimes. And what we see is like, oh, this is hard, and this is, I'm having a difficult time, I'm overwhelmed, I'm struggling with this. And it always goes back to the same pattern. And that pattern we often find right here in this book, in Body Clutter. And it goes back to habitual stuff that we had in our childhood. It goes back to the crazy making that we had with our food addictions. And we have to address those. And this is the beginning of your journey. Bringing it in. It's the beginning of your journey. We have a lot more coming with our new book that we are writing right now. And I could just have to tell you something, that if we can get off the carousel of crazy, then we can unplug this whole machine. We can stop the up and down, yo-yo dieting. We can stop all the guru following and thinking, oh, this is the one. Because honestly, the answer is very, very clear. It's clear to me and it's clear to you. It's inside of you. And it's when you follow your own nutritional guru, you get a lot of good information and you apply it in a way that makes sense for you. That's when you dial it in and you find your own plan. Look, I just told you the whole plot of the book. There's a lot more there. And I'm going to show you the science. I'm going to show you all the stuff that makes it make sense. And if you are a woman of any age, any certain age like Marla and I, you will understand and really appreciate where we are as women and where our bodies are and the patience and the love and the care that we need to give them, especially because it took so long to get there to where we are, and whether we like it or not, we have an opportunity to reverse that with some patience, some care, some love, and just a whole lot of community, because that's one of the tricks. But today, one of my tips for you, one of my tricks for you to get past some of the obstacles, some of the things that are holding us back, is to start looking at your bad habits. And don't we all have them, right? And believe me, when I say this, when I say you have a bad habit, I'm talking to all of us, because all of us have something that we could right now take a look at and go, yeah, it's not so great, and I need to replace that with something else. So instead of saying, I want to erase the bad habit, you want to replace it, because remember, nature hates a void, right? It hates a vacuum. So we have to take whatever this bad habit is and replace it with something else. It's a simple swap. And when we get to that place to replace it, and when we acknowledge exactly what it is, we can figure out what to do. And one of the best places is to start with this. And I thought I would just do a little illustration. The old pro-con sheet. Just get a yellow pad like this or whatever you have. On one side you write pro, on the other side you write con. And you write that habit down. Okay? You write that habit down. If that habit is smoking, if the habit is just eating incessantly, or cheating, so to speak, and can we make a pact right here and now? Pinky swear. You want to hold my finger here and let's do it. Let's make a pact that from now on we will never say, "Oh, I was bad, and I ate this." I'm so tired of saying that. You're never bad. You've got a bad habit maybe, But let's get rid of the bad habits and stop saying, I was bad, so I ate this. Come on, really? We're bigger than that, right? Throw some hearts down for that. Seriously. Because we are moving into the place of having an elevated view of ourselves and an understanding and an appreciation of who we are. And we're getting rid of the phraseology that really creates our own little jail cell. We don't need to do that. What we need to do is we need to start looking at things that we can start taking out. And it's very simple. There's a habit in your life that needs to go. You're not a bad person, exactly what Bobby said. You aren't bad. You're good. And you're wonderful and you're purposeful and there's all kinds of things. You are called to be in this life, my friend. You are called. So don't be calling yourself bad. I mean, that's really this side of blasphemy. You are God's creation and you're saying you're bad? No, you're not. You know what you are? You're flawed. And welcome to the club. This is the flawed club. If you're flawed, let me know about it. I mean, we all are. We're all flawed. But that doesn't stop us from putting on our glasses and taking a look at what's going on. That's why I'm saying, if we can say, instead of saying, I'm going to erase this or get rid of that or whatever, which is just this all or nothing attitude, instead of doing that, let's just be very practical about it. Instead of erase, let's replace. So let's take a look at something. Let's say you have a habit. Let's use smoking. And smoking is a good one, right? Smoking is such a good one because it's really easy to take a look at that habit. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. It needs to go. This is not a news flash. You all know this, right? So instead of saying I'm bad because I smoke, you just say I have a bad habit of smoking. It needs to go. We need to discard that habit. Needs to go. Because a habit is beside you. A habit is something that you do, but it isn't who you are, right? Understand that? There's a big difference. So let's get rid of cigarettes for a minute. Okay, let's use cigarettes. So how are we going to do this? So you have to plan your replacement. You know, instead of your erasement, let's plan your replacement. Use this sheet. On one side, what are the pros of smoking? Helps me relax. It makes me feel good. I enjoy it. Whatever your things are. What are the cons? Well, I mean, we can think of a million, right? On that side, put all the cons. Then when you're looking at this and you see it right here in black and white, you can think, now how instead of doing this, what do I need to do instead? What is my replacement? And your replacement can be every time you don't smoke, you put a quarter in a jar, and at the end of or however, I don't even know how much cigarettes cost, to be honest, but I know they're expensive, like $10 a pack or something. I don't know. But whatever cigarettes cost, every time you figure out the cost of a cigarette and put it in a jar, and there you have a reward. There's your replacement, is money. Instead of smoking it away, you've now got that money. Or instead of eating sugary things, you turn instead and you call on your clutter buddy, or you do something, you go outside and take a walk, you do something that's going to get you out the door. But understand first, what's in it for you? Why have you been doing this for so long? Is it habit? Is it this is how it was done in my family or whatever? Just kind of understand it. And then understand the part of it that makes it so that you want it to go away, that you want to replace it with something else because it is detrimental. It has been holding you back. So for cigarette smoking, for example, you can replace that with a gym membership, a pair of running shoes with all that money that you've been sending. So things that cause you to use your lungs that are an obvious replacement so that you're no longer doing things that's harming your body. That's for one. The other thing that you have to do is look for your triggers, right? Don't we all have triggers? So let's use another habit, for example. Let's say you have a bad habit of snacking after dinner. And snacking after dinner is sitting on the couch with your spouse or your kids or whatever, eating popcorn, eating ice cream. So your replacement then would be something along the lines of knitting, crocheting, doing a crossword puzzle, doing your nails, going and brushing your teeth, perpetually if you need to. But you just need to get rid of the thing that's holding you back. This is how it works. When we start to look at it in black and white terms, we can start to take the emotion out of it. That's important. Take the emotion out of it and say, instead of this, I'm going to do that. And then start to look at it and figure out where your triggers are. Again, back to this list, okay? Back to this list. You don't have to do pro con on there, but I love doing things on either side of it. Instead of doing this, I'm going to do that and write those things down. When you write it down and you see it in black and white, you've made yourself a plan. I love that. It's super helpful. And this is how we get it done. I used to do this with my daughter when she was in high school. And we're figuring out, instead of this, let's do that. And it worked. And then make it hard on yourself to return to the old habit. So I remember when my mother was trying to quit smoking, and she went through it. And she ended up dying of COPD, which is a horrible thing for anybody to go through. But for her, quitting smoking, she put rubber bands around the cigarettes. She made it so hard to smoke that it was a very obvious thing that she could do. So that was something. God, I'm having a hot flash and a half. That was something that she could do that made everything work for her for that favor. And then she put in the other good stuff. But when she wanted a cigarette, she made it hard on herself so that having a cigarette became less and less. And that's an important thing to do. And then the next thing to do is you have to be accountable, okay? And there's two ways to be accountable. And the first one is it's your tribe, it's your community. Who are you hanging out with? So if you are in the sprint and you're not hanging out with us in the sprint on Facebook, you're missing out because there is a pack of almost 2,000 cheerleaders waiting to help you out. They've been there, they've done it, and they want to help you out. So take advantage of that. And then there's also your body clutter buddy, which at any point you can ask for. You can say, hey, you know what? I need a body clutter buddy. Would you be my body clutter buddy? I live on the East Coast. I need somebody on the in Eastern Standard Time or whatever you want to do. Or I'm retired, or I have 8 dogs, or whatever it is, so that you have some kind of, similarities. However it is that you want to do it, it's totally up to you. But when you are the one that's reaching out, you are the one who is saying, I'm ready to replace my bad habit with a good one. I'm ready to have somebody hold me accountable and help me out. These are the people who succeed. The people who succeed are the people who are willing to do the extra thing, the one extra thing, the little teensy weensy extra thing to help them to make that happen for them. Marla and I are in touch daily. She knows, we know too much about each other. It's way too TMI, you guys. But that's the way it's supposed to be. And you're not going to get the whole lowdown here about what it is that we text back and forth, because that's between the two of us. I need her to know certain things about me, and she needs me to know certain things about her so that we can stay accountable. And it works. It works. We're also both in the community, and we're encouraging others and allowing others to encourage us. So it works in a big sense of a community. It also works on a one-on-one where you have to say, hey, you know what? This is how I'm feeling today. This is what my kid did. This is what my teenager said to me today. Now, you don't necessarily want to share that with the entire community, but you will with your body clutter buddy. I had a problem. I ate all the Oreos because my teenager told me to go, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is that you need to do, sometimes you just need the one person to be on your side, not the whole community. But you do need the whole community too. So don't, discard those aspects of it. And also, you need to know yourself, right? You need to know yourself. And this is the part that I want to tell you about, because I think this is so exciting. Every single one of us has had to dig in to do something that we didn't think was possible, and we did it. We felt a great sense of accomplishment. We felt like we were ready to launch, 100,000 balloons into the air and send out skywriters to tell everybody about our accomplishment. If this is you, if you've ever been there, if you've ever accomplished something bigger than you thought you could, just let me know. Tell me about that in the comments. And the reason I'm asking you about this is because we have created a pathway to success through the obstacles, through the difficulty, through the hard times, and we did it anyway. It might have been a job at work, a project, a school project even. It could have been anything. But here's what you have to look at. That pathway is ready for you to get back onto, and it is the pathway that is straight to your next success. And that includes this. That includes weight loss. It includes building better, healthy habits, all of it, because you've done the work. Kimmy said at the first sprint. Okay, so this is a good example because the first sprint, I know that for a lot, and I remember, when we were going through all of this in September, for a lot of people, this was brand new and they hadn't yet gone to the place of being successful for all 7 days. And suddenly they were, and they got all this, the rewards that came back were less inches, less pounds, feeling better, all the great kudos that comes with fulfilling, what you say you're going to do, which I also think too, if we make promises to ourselves and don't keep them, that's going to fracture our self-esteem. That's going to keep, tapping away and picking away at our core value. Because our core values are, we want to keep our promises. We want to be people of integrity. And if we're breaking the promises that we've made to ourselves, then we start feeling really worthless and useless. And it shouldn't be that way, but that is part and parcel. So if we can know ourselves, if we can dig deep, and if we can look into our past experience and remember a time where we successfully did it, then that's the road that we want to get on again. And remind yourself. So it goes like this. So you say to yourself, oh, this is so hard. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know that I can do this, etc. And then you say no. I remember when I did the first sprint. When I did the first sprint, I was successful. And I was successful because I did this. Now, again, it's all about talking to yourself. It's about making those affirmations. I am powerful. I am powerful. You trade out the pitiful for the powerful. And you trade the things out that make sense to help you gird you up to get you onto that journey. Do you see where I'm going with all of that? It makes all the sense in the world. And you have that within you, just like I do, just like Marla. We have it within us. We have a community. We have people who are available who want to be our body clutter buddies. And we have past success that we can build on, the road that we can travel on. We're not lost. We are not lost. It's not too much. It's not a struggle. None of this is. It's simple and it's easy and it's something that we can do. This is something that we have to pay attention to. And then I want to talk about the last thing I want to talk about, which I think is so crucial, is really watch the self-talk. When I see things, the yeah, but, and then, into the whole diatribe of why you can't do it, you're rationalizing. Instead of the yeah, but, you say, but I will this time. I may have had a hard time before, but this time I will. It's not yeah, but, it's but. So get rid of the yeah, buts. I hate yeah, but. Yeah, but is always an excuse. Yeah, but is always a rationalization. Yeah, but always takes you out of the equation and makes you pitiful. Yeah, has to go. But, and then a powerful statement, and you're on it. You're on it. So we have the opportunity to do this. And so as we get ready to get into the sprint, which is in 6 days, we have 6 days to get ready. Get your bone broth ready, make your grocery list, and get ready to do it. And if you want any supplements, our new supplement store is open. I am so excited about that. We're thrilled about that. But you need to be thrilled about it too, because you need to be thrilled about this sprint and just really dig hard and get into it. I've told you about this before. You need to, experience this sprint and plan for this sprint as if you were planning a major event, like a wedding. You wouldn't dare do it off just, off the cuff. But we do that with diets, don't we? We think, oh yeah, I'll be all right and I'll do this. And then 2 days later, it's gone. How many diets have you started? And then 2 days later, you're saying, this isn't for me. Think about it. Think about that. Can I tell you how many I've done? How many things and programs I've done online? How much stuff I've bought and then never used? This isn't what this is at all. I do have stuff. I do have all kinds of things that are going to make it better and things that can make it bigger and up-level you for a whole year. But I also have a community, and I will be all over you like white on rice, because nobody gets lost on my watch. That's the way I roll. Unless you do an Irish goodbye and just disappear. Me, I can't keep up with 1,800. We have almost 1,900 people in our sprint group. So if we can replace the bad with the good, and we can start to measure it. I've told you, measure, measure, measure. Marla's got these on sale for $9.95, you guys. Oh, what's stopping you for this, What's stopping you from this? I keep all my measurements in here. I keep everything in here so I can keep track of what's going on. I want 2020 is upon us. November 1st is this week. 2020 is upon us. What do you want 2020 to look like? We have the rest of this, we're getting into holiday mode, right? We are totally getting it 100% into holiday mode. And most people, they just say, oh, well, I'll deal with that in January. In January, I will. In January. And I say no. Right now is the time. Right now is the time to make sure that you do not have the bad habit of putting on the 7 to 14 pounds that most people put on during the holidays when they just let it go. And I'm not going to let that happen to you. We can hold on to things, and it doesn't mean that we can't have fun. It doesn't mean that you're going to be drinking bone broth while everybody else is having turkey and gravy. It just means that you need to get a hold of your habits. Betsy says, I recently threw out a whole box of the Nutrisystem food for almost $200. Yep. What real people eat that stuff? I've had it. I've had Nutrisystems, Jenny Craig. I've done Weight Watchers umpteen times. I've done all of it. I don't want to count anything anymore. I don't want to have, I don't want to do this up and down stuff. I don't want to do crazy food. I want to do food that feeds my soul as well as feed my tummy. Marla's right. It is gross. Look at the chemicals. You don't need chemicals. You need nutrients. End of story. And that's what we do with the sprint. So now's the time. Sign it up, girlfriends. Sign up now. Go to savingdinner.com/sprint. It's a 100% free program, 7 days, and you get a group to go into, and you get to be around women who are your tribe. They are. And we eat good food. We don't starve. We find our appetites again. We find our souls again. And we find out that we're a whole lot more powerful than we thought we were. So if you're ready to find the magic that's within you, and you're ready to be motivated, and you're ready to not have the holiday season look like every other holiday season where it's weight gain, and here it is. And this is a true story. On New Year's Eve, I was putting on the little black dress, super cute to wear, with my amazing Spanx. These Spanx probably cost more than the dress, and I still couldn't zip my dress up because of the holidays. I gained 7 pounds. And 7 pounds, my friends, is a dress size. So don't do that to yourself. Just because there's a buffet doesn't mean that you have to strap a food bag on your face like a horse. We're not that. And remember too, somebody else said this in our sprint group, that you're not a dog, so don't reward yourself with food. Got that? You're worth so much more. You are here for a purpose. Keep that in mind. That is your big picture. Your big picture is that you are God's child here for a purpose. And it isn't just to eat everything in sight, right? Let's take care of the temple and feed ourselves right. And you can do that by replacing your bad habits instead of trying to erase them. That's it. That's where we are. And I will be in the sprint group. You'll find me there. I will also be doing, tomorrow is it tomorrow? No, Thursday. I'm sorry. Today's Tuesday. Thursday is our club meeting at 2:00. So be prepared for that. And I have a ton of people who've already made their appointments, their consultations, their one-on-ones. And I'm excited about that. That's starting to happen with our club members. So really cool. The club is closed right now, you guys. We will be opening it up again in November, but for right now it is closed. So if that's something that you're interested in and you're a part of our sprint group, you'll be getting emails that will tell you more about how to join the club later on. Okay? It's a year journey and it's going to be awesome. Rock on. Okay, so that's it. That's all I have for you today. And listen, if you have any questions for me, you know how to find me. I'm around. And I will see you at 3:00 for tea time. And it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Take care. Bye.